This video works on another word problem related to speed. So here we have the current of a river moves at 3 miles per hour. It takes a boat a total of 3 hours to travel 12 miles upstream against the current. The return the same distance traveling downstream. With the current, what is the boat still rate? So there are two things to be taken into account. The first one is there is a river which is flowing. So let's say this is downstream. And the river is flowing at 3 miles per hour. And then we have a boat which you are rowing. And we need to find the speed of the boat. Right now we don't know the speed of the boat. So let's say the speed of the boat in still water be x miles per hour. Now what's going on is that if when you are doing with current, when you go with downstream, your speed will get faster. When you go upstream, your speed would be, because it would be against the current, you would be going slower. So why I have made 3 columns over here? Because we will be working with the formula for distance, rate and time. So the 3 things which we are working is distance, rate and time. So what would be time? Time, we will be using the formula distance divided by the rate. So if we go back to this, it takes about 3 hours to travel, a total of 3 hours. So upstream and downstream, a total of 3 hours to travel 12 miles upstream. So upstream 12 miles. So we'll put upstream and the other one is downstream. So these are the 2 cases we have, upstream and downstream, and both, if they are saying it's traveling 12 miles upstream and downstream. So what happens to the speed? When you are in upstream, you will be moving slower because you are moving against the current. With the current, when you do so downstream, the speed gets added up. So how to figure out the time? So you use the formula distance divided by rate. So it would be 12 divided by x minus 3. And then 12 divided by x plus 3. Now how to set up the thing? For that, if you look, the total time was 3 hours. That means if we add the time of upstream and downstream, so total of 3 hours. So upstream plus downstream is a total of 3 hours. So here we have 12x minus 3 plus 12x plus 3 equal 3. Now again, if you observe, we have rational equation. We know that the value cannot be 3 or negative 3. These are 2 values are not allowed for this equation, because then your denominator becomes 0. But whenever we have to solve a rational equation, first thing we have to get rid of the denominators. And here, since we have 3 different denominators, we need a common denominator, which would be our LCD. Since nothing is common, it would be x minus 3 and x plus 3. So we multiply by x minus 3, x plus 3. So minus 3 cancels, x minus 3, x plus 3. Again x plus 3 cancel, x minus 3, x plus 3. On this one. So now what we are left with? We are left with 12. So 12 x plus 3 plus 12 x minus 3 and 3 x minus 3 and x plus 3. So we need to simplify. How to simplify this one? So first we will be getting rid of our denominator by doing the distribution, and always FOIL these first, which would be difference of 2 perfect square. So this gives you x square minus 9, and this will give you 12x plus 36 plus 12x minus 36. I don't have space, so I'm putting it up over here. So this would be, if you look at 12 plus 12, that will give us 24, and 36 is gone. So we have 24x equal, so if you go back, it's 3x square, so that's 3x square minus 27. So it becomes a quadratic equation, so we have to set it up to 0. So move the 24x, so that would be 3x square minus 24x minus 27, and we are set to 0. And now the other thing to follow is first step of factoring, which would be GCF. So the GCF is 3, which gives you x square minus 8x minus 9, and then product is negative 9, sum is negative 8, so our factors is x minus 9, x plus 1, which is 0, and we know that 3 cannot be 0, so x minus 9 is 0, x plus 1 is 0. From here we are getting a negative cannot be the rate of our board, so we discard that, and we add up. So the boat speed is 9 miles per hour.